vast African savanna where survival is measured in seconds. A leopard sprints across the savanna, dust flying everywhere, dust rising with every pounding step. Your heart races just watching it. A young giraffe, dangling helplessly from twisted tree branches, while a hungry lion circles below, eyes locked, waiting to strike. What would you do if you were the only thing standing between that giraffe and certain death? Stay with us to see how this wild rescue unfolded. Because what unfolds next is a rescue unlike anything you've ever seen. And this is the story of one of the most dramatic wildlife rescues ever captured in the African wild. The sun had barely risen over the Serengeti, its golden hue painting the grasslands with warmth. The air buzzed with life, a lion's distant roar, the chirping of birds greeting the morning, and the rhythmic thud of giraffe hooves over the earth. But this wasn't going to be an ordinary day. Far across the plains, near a dried-up acacia grove, a young giraffe named Nuru was about to face the fight of her life. Nuru was unlike the others in her herd. Barely 2 years old, her eyes sparkled with curiosity and boldness that even her mother, Mara, couldn't contain. While most young giraffes stayed close to the herd, Nuru would often venture off, peeking at thorny bushes, nudging unfamiliar shrubs, chasing butterflies with her awkward, lanky strides. That morning the herd was grazing peacefully near a grove of fallen trees, relics of a powerful storm from weeks prior. Nuru saw something peculiar, an oddly shaped acacia trunk leaning against another, forming a bridge. With a child's sense of adventure, she walked across it, stepping onto the massive trunk. But the bark was damp. One step, then a slip. Her long legs flailed. A loud crack echoed through the grove. She was stuck. One hind leg had slipped deep between a tangle of branches, her body now wedged between split trunks. She cried out, a long, desperate bleat, but the herd was too far to hear. The panic began. Minutes passed. Her neck thrashed in every direction. Every movement tightened the trap. Her long legs, meant for running and towering over predators, were useless here, and then silence broke again. From the tall grass below, eyes watched. Yellow, unblinking, hungry eyes. A lion, male, old, battle-scarred, hungry. It hadn't eaten in days. The scent of blood and fear was irresistible. It began to circle. Miles away, Ranger Team Leader David Kamanzi was finishing his patrol when the alert came through. An aerial survey drone had picked up distress calls from a juvenile giraffe and motion signatures from a lion less than 50 meters away. Rangers were dispatched immediately. The Land Rover roared across uneven terrain, bumping and rattling. David was joined by veteran tranquilizer specialist Ayanda, wildlife vet Rahima, and 2 rescue assistants. As they neared the site, the tension grew. The savanna was alive, not with serenity, but with anticipation. Then they saw it. Nuru's massive frame was tangled above ground, her eyes wide with terror, her breathing shallow. Foam gathered around her lips, and below her, sitting calmly, as if protecting a prize, was the lion. It looked up at the vehicle and let out a low growl. "We can't get close with him there," Ayanda muttered. "We've got about 20 minutes before she passes out or breaks a limb trying to escape," Rahima added. "And less than that before that lion gets impatient," David said grimly. They needed to act fast. The giraffe couldn't be tranquilized while suspended. It might worsen her injuries or send her crashing down. But the lion wouldn't let them get near. They tried honking. The lion didn't flinch. They revved the engine. Still nothing. Ayanda had an idea. He reached into the cooler box and pulled out a raw meat chunk, leftover from another predator relocation earlier that week. "We bait him away. That buys us maybe 5 minutes." David hesitated. Feeding a wild predator wasn't protocol. It risked teaching them dependence. But this was a life-or-death moment. They tied the meat to a drone and flew it 200 meters to the east. The lion watched. Its ears twitched. Then, finally, it stood and walked away. The moment the lion vanished, the team rushed forward. Ropes were thrown, and Ayanda climbed the tree to access Nuru's trapped leg. "She's panicked," Rahima called out. "We need to calm her or she'll break something." A fast-acting sedative dart was gently injected, just enough to ease her panic, not enough to knock her out. Ayanda worked like a surgeon, rope around the trunk, anchor to vehicle, gentle tension. Then, snap! The smaller branch pinning Nuru gave way. Her body lurched. David and his team held firm on the ropes. Slowly, carefully, they began to lower her. Dust rose. Nuru blinked. Her head dropped. "She's stable?" Rahima confirmed. "But we're not done yet," Ayanda said. "Look." The lion was back, but this time it wasn't alone. 3 hyenas had appeared from the east, drawn by the noise, by the scent. Predators worked in opportunity, and this was golden. "Plan B?" David asked. Ayanda pointed. "We don't have a plan B." Rahima was already at the Land Rover. She pulled out a second meat bag, this time laced with a mild muscle relaxant. Non-lethal, just enough to make them sluggish. They launched it. The predators hesitated. The smell was too strong. One hyena grabbed it and dashed. The lion followed. That gave them the window. "Now!" David shouted. With every ounce of caution and speed, they carried Nuru down from the final 2 feet. Her legs wobbled. She tried to stand, failed, tried again, succeeded. Nuru looked around disoriented. Her ears twitched, her tail flicked. Then she turned and ran. The herd wasn't far. Mara, her mother, had returned, pacing in circles, scanning the horizon. And when she saw Nuru, her legs charging across the savannah, she galloped to meet her. The reunion was silent. No calls, no drama. Just 2 necks gently brushing. A slow nuzzle. She was home. 3 days later, a ranger camera trap caught footage of Nuru, now healthier, stronger, playing near the same grove with another juvenile giraffe. She still wandered, still explored, but now a little wiser. And the lion? It moved east, tracking a new herd. The wild never stops. It only pauses for moments like this, where life is given a second chance. Some rescues are simple, others are battles against instinct, nature, and time. This one? It was all 3. Nuru's story is proof that even in the fiercest places on earth, compassion can tip the balance. Thanks for joining us on this journey. Want more powerful animal stories like this? Hit subscribe, drop your thoughts in the comments, and share this video with someone who loves wildlife.